Hey, happy December coming up. And if you're watching this and you subscribe to this YouTube channel, do you know I'm not your everyday conventional traditional astrologer? I'm more of a DIY or more of a, if I were going to classify myself, it would be interpersonal. And interpersonal in the sense that all conflict outside of yourself exists within. So if you're having conflict with a family member or having conflict with a partner, look within first. So if you're looking for what is going to be predicted on this full moon on the 15th of December, yeah, I'll get there. But prediction is really the least favorite aspect, one of them for me with astrology. This particular video is dedicated to the new moon in Sagittarius, which is early tomorrow morning on Sunday. December 1st. And because Sagittarius is the mythologically goes to the centaur, half human, half beast, the elevated human side with the animal nature side, let's just look at Sagittarius and how it would operate the possibilities in each sign. So, Sag, I see. So, I see what I see. So, Sagittarius are just great at humor. It's one of the things I love about you being a spirited, conventionally spirited fire sign. And as such, if you're seeing this larger, inclusive, big picture, then yeah, I'll listen to you until you run out of things to talk about. But when you start to narrow your viewpoint or you start to only see the physical things, the way someone appears, what car they're driving, what race they have, or if you're only into being a size queen or BDE or, all of those things, then I stop listening. And then the next fire sign after you in late March, 1st of April, and I want to tell you that I like to group these kind of videos by element. Because again, it's about how you get along with others. I mean, we Westerners are way too skewed in terms of intellect and individualism that, no bueno. So the next one is Aries, which is I see that I am. So I'm taking the I see of possibilities that comes from the third eye with Sag and just applying it to the key phrase that you probably already know. So Aries is I am. I see that I am. So Aries, your life is about looking back at that Pisces, those collective waters, and saying, nah, I ain't doing all that sacrifice and surrender. And if I am, I'm going to do it to my own inner vision. I see I am and I have a vision. Keep hope alive. Well, Aries is also about trusting the process of the expression of their own individualism. And I love, love, love to ask Aries people, how do you know it's not our karma to respond to you? So if you're constantly jumping on the grenade first or sublimating or adapting that beautiful spark of fire to your environment without just doing it, not the patriarchal kind of, I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission. Now, if you're going to do that, Aries, give yourself permission. And Leo, no, you're not the last fire sign. You're just the last one in association with Sagittarius season. I see that I will. So yours is definitely kind of double intentional. I mean, Sag is already intentional based on the pillars of our raw material. And you can go to my TikTok video for more information on that. Or go to ourrawmaterial.com. So, Leo, I will. I see that I will. So, it's your intention about your discipline, recognizing the limits of time and space, recognizing how much you've committed to, and then seeing that through. And as a fixed or concentrated sign like Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius, oh, your loyalty is often to the principles that you've defined from within. Then after Sag, Aries, and Leo comes Capricorn, Virgo, and Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo to keep the order going. Well, Capricorn's feet, key phrases I use. So I see that I use. Now, we can get into the Bill Withers. You're going to keep on using me to do the things that you do, whatever that great hook is, use me song. but it's more I utilize, where it's just recognizing that we're at a point in our development as a community that we need to share in order for us to create a more functional, realistic community. Because remember, Capricorn, you began the season of winter in Western conventional astrology. And so just know that I see that I use, it's not just always about transaction, it's just about, hey, this is what I have to give. And the trick with you, Cappies, or anybody who's in love with them, or if you want to develop more of that within yourself, is to reduce or to cease expecting to get back what you gave from the person to whom you gave it. And after Capricorn comes beautiful Taurus. I see that I have. So you're like the cosmic, cost accountant or, esthetician, or the one that I see, you look at, well, what do I own? What do I have? That bird in the hand, what resources do I have to give? Again, freely. What do I value? And so I see that I have doesn't necessarily mean that you're greedy, Taurus, or that you're attached to money or the physical world or even your beauty or your wapo, your handsomeness. You could just see that you have certain things to magnetize more so you can give it freely as well. So see what you give freely and what you don't give freely. And my general rule of thumb is if you can't give it away freely, then keep it. I know that's a little binary, but I am Scorpio. Then after Taurus comes, I analyze Virgo. And so I see that I analyze, I see that I'm exacting. And so, Virgo, just know that your flaws and your critique is mostly for your inner truth, your inner ear, your ability to listen to what matters to you and where you want to place your precise giving skills. And, Mary Martha, if you can't be more Mary, just giving because you recognize prosperity is not just does not just have a physical quotient, then you can lean away from that. Look how much I've done for you, basically, and analyze less and go into the wholeness of things. And then after the earth element, we go to Aquarius, and then Gemini and Libra. So Aquarius's key phrases I know. So sad season is already about what you know or what you intend or keeping up with the latest trends or the latest, music or whatever is important to you. So Aquarius just adds that to what I know. And so both of these energies can feel really defensive if they don't feel like that they have, all of the knowledge right there at their fingertips, so to speak. So I see that I know for Aquarius is maybe determining what you don't know or asking questions to ascertain the varying degrees of ignorance that we all have. And then that way it can feel like more of a team effort than you coming in and setting the atmosphere or setting the parameters. Been doing some contemplation around Aquarius and thinking outside of the box. And what if there's no box in the first place? Then after Aquarius, we've got late May, 1st of June, Gemini, the twins, another humanitarian sign. And this key phrase is I think. So I see that I think. And so being the binary, the flip side of the same coin, Sagittarius is I see, big picture, general, intentional. And then Gemini is I think, how do I use my left hemisphere to bring all of that into some manageable order? Well, the image I'm getting right now is if Gemini represents the box cars of a train, then Sagittarius is the conductor, what direction, and then the tracks. And, we can go into that metaphor. So this time period with, Jupiter in Gemini retrograde, ruled by Mercury, and Mercury in Sagittarius retrograde, ruled by Jupiter, Gemini and Sag, you have this beautiful, beautiful way to look at, how you think, how you maybe take certain root assumptions for granted. And if your life is not moving according to plan, which God scoffs or laughs when you make plans. Well, what if we are a piece of God? Vice versa. Or let's use a water metaphor. God is the ocean and we're made of water. Gemini, what's the twins to do? Pause, breathe, look up our raw material, or, buy a gift certificate or get a reading, do things that suspend your logic. Yes, watch for those synchronicities, Gemini, particularly around this next full moon in December 14th, 15th, 16th. Libra, beautiful scales of justice. Your key phrase is I balance. One of the most misunderstood things about you say you're a Libra or Libra season, and people project that you're balanced. Oh, it's one of my favorite things to laugh about. You're here to learn balance. So I see that I'm balanced, Libra, is seeing where you're out of balance, where you've maybe gone for certain false compromises. At what point does overlooking someone's behavior becomes denial or enabling? And so this sad season for you is seeing where you can really go into your ideals, again, a la our raw material, but also looking at how you spend your time. Water element, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Well, Pisces key phrase is I believe. And you have a co-rulership of Jupiter like Sagittarius do. So, yes, you have modern day Neptune, but there is a part of you that can be conventional about your beliefs, Pisces. And you can see the point of where you believe because it's just easier to be conventional in your beliefs without, rocking the proverbial boat. But when you go into your Neptunian side and understand he's ending his 12-year cycle starting in your sign from 2012 on March 30th, 2025. So realize that these next 3.5 months for you, Pisces, is about seeing where you've deluded yourself or or you haven't really communicated to us your basic Doctor Strange kind of multidimensionality that you have going on. And yeah, you may have to come out of the closet about certain sensitivities that you have, but we're there for it. Then comes Cancer. I feel. I see that I feel. Well, yeah, your feelings can create atmospheres of encouragement and expansion, but they can also create phobias and fears, and everybody kind of, like in the eighth grade, nobody got on the dance floor first because everybody was afraid. So you can, kind of dampen the atmosphere when you're not using your sensitivity and making it your sensitivity. So see where your sensitivity is yours, that we don't all ascribe to that same. So what you think or feel may hurt our feelings. We're probably like, really, dude? Oh, girl, get a proverbial fucking grip. So this Mercury retrograde and Jupiter retrograde in Gemini and Sag may have you coming out of your shell proverbially speaking. Last and certainly not least, we've just gone through your season, Scorpio. Your key phrases I desire or I create. Of course, you would have two that we use, um, but I see where I desire. And as long as you can lighten up and treat your desires like guests, or you imagine a time period, and by lightening up, you just approach desire with a sense of humor, and I create is not editing. See where you edit your creative process before you even finish expressing your creative process. I mean, just imagine how some of the best physical and emotional connections you've had is when you are not watching yourself or wondering how you're coming across. You just lose yourself in the moment. And so I see that I desire, I see that I create. And as long as you Scorpio, anybody that is with Scorpions, as long as you recognize that recognizing your desires can show where you feel you lack. And that's where the complementary sign of Taurus comes in. What do you own, Scorpio? What do you have to give freely? Hey, season's greetings, and I'm just feeling it right now. And happy new moon in Sagittarius. Peace.